Welcome to our Lunchtime Live program on WJEJ. This is Will Kaufman. It's a partnership the third Thursday of the month with Washington County Public Schools. We talk with folks from the school system, and in some cases beyond the public school system, but all about education and all the different aspects of what we deliver to the community as a public school system here in Washington County. Today's show is sponsored by Blackboard on a mission to reimagine education. And we thank Blackboard for supporting the show. And I thank Mike Embly for being the lone survivor to actually appear on the show today. And how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
We had, and folks, interestingly, and this is not to patronize you, but folks look forward to the food service shows.
That's great.
I guess you guys have turned into real hits.
This is great.
So anyway, there are a couple of things. We had Mike's going to do the show, and we're going to be fine. He and I will be fine. In fact, we agreed before the show. We don't really need the other folks. Jeff, the supervisor of the whole office, has high-level meetings today, arguably. And we also had a pinch hitter available, and she took sick, so here we are.
I'm it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'll do okay. Jeff is an assistant supervisor in the Food and Nutrition Services Office with Washington County Public Schools. And we have something of incredible timeliness because summer vacation is just underway. School's out last week as we're doing the show today. And the summer program from your department has just started this week. Do everything you got on that. That's great. It's been great.
It's an exciting time for us. It's very busy. We started Monday. We do 6 meal machine sites, and I was on last year to talk about the meal machine program. It's our mobile meals program. We started it 3 years ago with one truck. It was quite the hodgepodge vehicle. Still pictures floating around of that we borrowed from Community Action Council. And then last year, we were fortunate to receive a grant from National League of Cities. We were one of several cities nationwide selected for the grant. Afforded us the opportunity to buy a step van, like a UPS type truck, completely outfitted it, customized, fully serviced meal service vehicle. They serviced 2 sites last year, Cortland Manor and the Otterbein Church downtown. And then we were also last year able to outfit 2 of our current vans that we use during the school year with meal machine equipment and graphics to same thing. They were doing Pangborn Park and Children in Need and Robert Johnson Center downtown. So we expanded that program this year, again, with the help of Share Our Strength this year, provided us the opportunity with a grant. We outfitted 2 more of our vans, so we now have 5 vehicles on the road servicing 6 sites. So we added Nolan Village Community Center and the West End Baptist Church. So those are our 6 meal machine sites this year. Off and running great. I was out at some of the sites this week. Just what an exciting time to see the kids coming out. The kids are excited. We've also added programming this year that we've not had in the past. We have Maryland 211 is sponsoring a Kona Ice Day, where the Kona Ice truck is going to come out, and every child getting a meal that day is going to also get a free Kona Ice, courtesy of Maryland 211. We have the Authentic Community Theater Group coming out, and they consist of some of our current WCPS students, Barbara Ingram theater art students. I know they were at Cortland Manor yesterday. They probably just wrapping up their performance down at Otterbein today. Rave reviews. Everybody is really enjoying that. Kind of the value-added service to the kids coming and getting a meal. We've got their attention with the meal, and then providing some type of activity on site for them. And that's really our focus of growth, because again, what we found is some of these kids, they really don't have anything to do. We want to keep them engaged, learning opportunities. In addition, Chef Jody is going to be going out to some of our sites, doing some culinary demo, maybe even highlighting some of the new products for next year, teaching healthy eating habits. We have also, which we've had in the past, the mobile dental clinic and the bookmobile. Will go to the sites as well.
I think that's pretty funny, actually, because you can deliver them the food and then give them the dental clinic right after.
You sure can.
It's perfectly logical.
I'll be honest. I had heard about the mobile dental clinic. I'd never been on it. They happened to stumble upon them at one of our schools. Knocked on the door. wanted to introduce myself and was amazed. It's a fully outfitted RV.
Right.
They had one child in the front end getting a full dental exam, cleaning, and a child in the back that was getting a cavity filled right in the parking lot of our school, and it'll be the same thing this summer. They coordinate. We have permission slips that our staff will be handing out. They come and collect those, then they take care of everything from there as far as scheduling appointments, and it's all free of charge.
Is the added value on you, or did folks step up and you thought that's a great? How did the extras come into play?
Really was just, I don't know where the initial idea came from. I mean, there's a lot of folks doing mobile meals and doing different activities, but I think, when we started to see, Otterbein was really in the driver's seat and really, helped to plant that seed, and they really developed a volunteer group that started, and I know our first year, I'd go out and there'd be the dancing dragon or somebody doing puppet shows, and I started asking questions like, wow.
So they provided it unsolicited.
They started it, and then we kind of took it from there and said, okay, well, some of our sites, again, like a Cortland Manor, Nolan Village, there's not the church organization behind it. Right. So we really ended up taking the reins and trying to get other folks involved.
Right. Let me go back to grants you've been able to gain. What are the criteria? What is it about Hagerstown? What is it about your program, our county, that draws that sort of support?
I think in general, the support that we've received from the school system to do this project, the support we've received from the community, and our drive in general, the excitement and the willingness to do this. There's not everybody, either has the manpower, which we're very fortunate to have. I used to run a district just myself and an administrative assistant. You just don't have that manpower and support in the summertime. Whereas a school system our size, you can split the duties equally in the office, and we can each have our focus, and we can work as a team. And so I think that helps when we're going out and applying for grants, because again, the legwork, you have to go out and find them, you have to go out and apply for them, and each grant comes with its own set of criteria as far as reporting, as far as when you have to have the money spent by, and really all of the grant opportunities are looking for expansion. And really, what are you going to do to improve your programs or to offer more?
Right. Are things different from site to site, or is the same thing going on at each site? You have a whole fleet going out. Is there anything different from site to site?
Yeah, each site is a little unique. One in their makeup and the setting. Some of the sites, the bookmobile and mobile dental clinic can't logistically fit into and drive into. Again, some sites, the West End Baptist Church was a late add-on for us. We had been seeking additional sites for probably about 2 months, and they were a late add-on, so they didn't get as many of the other activities as some of the others have. But yeah, it really varies from site to site. And again, I think when you have different communities that kind of can take the reins, similar to the Otterbein. We really like that because we're the experts in the food business. Right. The activities piece, we're learning, but that's the whole engaging the community piece, which really supports the Washington County Public Schools vision and mission is to engage the community. Right. And to provide as many opportunities as we can for our students.
And I think it provides a really positive platform for community organizations, whether it's churches or other organizations, to step in and provide that added value. Because it certainly fulfills a lot of missions. When you're going after kids with positive things, whether it's food or activities, there are a lot of folks who can jump on that bandwagon and make all of the angles work.
I'm glad you said that because, again, the Hagerstown Lions Club is our first local sponsor. We have different sponsorship packages that we're starting to develop. They were the first to jump on board. They actually were a fuel sponsor for this summer. So they have their logo on the side of our big truck. And again, we're trying to really expand those opportunities. I think the Lions Club is just getting on board and thinking of doing some additional things. We're looking for volunteers to come out and help at the sites because it is logistically when you're getting anywhere from 30 to 100 kids coming. Helping to keep the trash cleaned up and helping our staff to set up tables and just help keep it organized and assist the kids.
If we have parents listening, or if by chance we have high school kids listening, student service learning hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you'll take on some kids to
We
help
we,
with the
we
summer.
would. Yeah.
Okay.
And we really feel that we're just scratching the surface on this project. Even though we're really happy with going from one kind of makeshift, not sure how this program is going to work, to having 5 vehicles on the road, and just a staggering number for me. Last year, at 4 meal machine sites, we served 9,000 breakfasts and 11,000 lunches. It's just, if you've ever been to a concert in an arena, that's how many people they fit in an arena.
Right.
And to think of that many meals going out to kids that may or may not have had that opportunity, it's really a good feeling.
If you're just joining us, this is Lunchtime Live on WJEJ with Washington County Public Schools. My guest today is Mike Embly from the Food and Nutrition Services Office of our school system. As an assistant supervisor, Mike is right in the thick of the summer food program and the meal machine, or now machines, as we're describing to you. Today's show is sponsored by Blackboard on a mission to reimagine education. So 5 vehicles, 3rd year. Are you truly already? I mean, we're a week into the 3rd year, and you already got the light bulb is already on for few. Is that the kind of planning you have to do?
Yeah, always. Okay. Yeah, we it's a year-round really planning process. Especially, we're really hoping to, and we've got some irons in the fire of looking at some larger grants for next year to get another big truck. The beauty with the big truck that we don't currently have.
When you guys come wheeling into like a giant parking lot with a tractor trailer, with like dining tables and stuff like that, I'll know that this thing is out of control.
It's not out of the possibility in the realm.
Yeah.
As the boss says, he's got 3 left-handers in the office that think outside the box. Sometimes it's scary when we all come to say, we have an idea.
Yeah,
but yeah, we've talked about that, and it's funny you said about the tables. One of the things we bought this year with some of our grant funds was these little picnic tables that fold up. A matter of fact, I just got a request for more today, and fortunately, Jeff just handed me another check from the Tri-State Civitan Group of Hagerstown, a donation to the meal machine. So, we're very fortunate to have the community really starting to come into play, and we're going to buy more tables.
Well, because when you first went out, it's like going to the ice cream truck in the neighborhood, right? I mean, folks are just getting their food and sitting curbside. Or,
correct.
Yeah.
The couple parameters, and one of the parameters, the kids have to eat on site.
Right.
Federal requirement, which again we're lobbying. We'd love to see that taken away. But again, to ensure that the meal gets to the child,
right,
and to ensure food safety. The child doesn't take their sandwich and they don't eat it till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So right. Keeping it on site, and that's one of the challenges. It really is. So. The other piece, and again, we're really a lot of different groups lobbying for this, is we have to have defined sites where we are set up in an area, and how we qualify the site is if that particular site address, if you lived at that address, where would you go to school?
Oh, okay.
And then you look at the school's area eligibility, they call it. And I need a school 50% or more free and reduced. And once you have that, you can qualify the site.
Right.
But they have to, you can't just drive down the street and see 10 kids and pull over and try to serve them a meal.
Right.
We really hope that is possible in the future.
That would be, wow, what a step that would be.
It would be. And many folks know that we can serve so many more kids with that model.
Right. But even at set sites, at established sites where you guys go, and the hours vary a little bit. The time frames vary a little bit from site to site.
Yep.
But generally, in the whole breakfast, lunch time frames for this summer program, that you're still serving an extraordinary number.
Yeah.
Which is just great.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And there's no charge. I mean, these
charge.
folks are coming for a free meal, which serves any number of purposes. First of all, it's great outreach for us, and secondly, and more importantly, it really is providing something back to the community, to folks who really, and we argue this point, or not argue it, but we present this point all the time, and diplomatically, some of these families, some of these kids are getting, something of quality to eat when maybe that day they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And so it means a whole lot in that picture.
We hear so many stories, and parents will tell us that are bringing their kids of how much it means to them. Mm-hmm. And whether it's, hey, we're struggling a little bit, or hey, this is great for us because we can, the money that we would have put out for lunches, we can take and take them to the movies, or we can go do something else with those funds. Or the child that this is it, and really, and it helps to keep the children that we see every day in our school buildings fed during the summer, or at least give them the opportunity. And we've really tried to cover the county as best as we can. Again, we're a little bit hand tied, in some of our, Boonesboro, Smithsburg areas because of, the area eligibility requirement.
Right,
and
sure.
again, with hoping in the next few years we see some changes in that legislation.
What do you serve? How do you decide what to serve?
Jody Francisco, our manager of culinary development, creates the menu. But we've been able to, and we get asked this question a lot about the hot meals.
So you're not just handing them a ham sandwich.
No, sir. Yeah. No, we've really worked hard at developing processes, and again, with when we have the funds, we can do it properly, get the proper equipment. But even so, we use fire bricks, simply a special brick you throw in the oven, and we put it in the bottom of an insulated bag. It'll hold that food for 4 hours. But most of the meal machines, they all have a professional carrier that'll hold food for 4 hours.
Right.
And really, we're looking at an hour that we need to keep that food hot.
And is there a set menu, or it varies from day to day, from week to week?
It's set, but it varies.
Okay.
We're talking chicken patties, cheeseburgers, hot dog, turkey sandwich, pizza. Really kid-friendly, simple food that we can pre-wrap. It's something that needs to be pre-wrapped so that, for food safety and sanitation at the sites. Your other items are typically cold, so an array of cold vegetables, an array of cold fruit, fresh, canned, and we're also infiltrating local produce into the program. Here in about 2 weeks, it is another special thing we're doing this summer. Jody has a whole crew at one of our base central kitchens. We have some local farms that are going to be bringing in their produce, and we have a production crew coming in to process that. They're going to be making marinara sauce, processing these fresh vegetables, and then flash freezing them for the fall. So, from where we live, we can't get fresh tomatoes in the winter. Well, now we can.
It's a fascinating thing, and not nearly to the scale of a regular school year, but there are way more similarities in the summer program to the regular school year. Obviously, the kids aren't lined up in a cafeteria, so that traditional look and feel of a program is not there. But I mean, there are many, food choices, balance, things like that. There are way more similarities with you guys just out on the street.
Yeah. And I haven't even touched on, we're doing 10 community sites as well. In addition, so YMCA, all the Boys and Girls Clubs. We have White Tiger Karate Center, which is a really neat program. I just visited them earlier in the week. Great group of folks and program. The Girl Scouts, there's a group down at USMH downtown. Right. We're serving meals to all those sites.
And how does that work? What's the difference?
Really, the biggest difference is we're taking meals. We've trained their staff to distribute the meals.
Okay.
And so we're taking a set number of meals into their staff, into their programs where they have a set number of kids each day.
Okay.
Versus the meal machine where we're out on the street. Anybody 18 and under, you don't have to be registered in a program to show up for that meal.
So the others are so-called closed sites.
They are, but they aren't.
Okay.
They're still registered as an open site. So if there are other children that find them on our map, there's a map that the state has that you can go on and find what they call open sites in the state of Maryland. They would show up. But the more accessible sites are going to be your meal machine and our 3 open school sites. But yeah, the Boys and Girls Clubs, they'll still get folks that'll walk in and say, could we get a meal? We found you on the website, and they're able to serve them.
Can you characterize like days of the week and times, and how if you can give a general rendering without going through every site and every hour of this, how does it work?
We have, for this particular program, we have one base kitchen with a number, I think maybe 8 to 10 folks working in the production facility, packaging, cooking, getting it's an assembly line,
Right.
and then really you have all your different vehicles that pull up to the loading dock. We have different drivers and passengers in those vehicles, and they load up and they have a route schedule, and yeah, it's a well-oiled machine.
That's
a lot of planning,
It's a
though.
big operation.
It's a huge operation.
Yeah.
But Will, I tell you, we've been working hard, really, really hard at this since probably beginning of April. When I went out to the sites on Monday, it's just so worth it. It's hard to even describe. The seeing the joy in the kids' faces and
Right.
and the appreciation that you get from the community, it makes it
Yeah,
all
I think
worthwhile.
that's the key thing too, and it's not about us getting a pat on the back. It really is
Absolutely.
about some satisfaction and some trust that parents, guardians, grandparents, folks who are bringing the kids to the sites, to get a meal. Those folks are not only coming with a good attitude, but walking away with a good attitude too. So we'll see them again, and we'll see them in the school cafeterias, and maybe we'll translate to some of these kids and families that those fresh fruits and vegetables, are a pretty cool thing to to be part of your daily meal schedule. So it really is much more of a full picture than truly just handing a 7-year-old lunch on the day-to-day. There's
Sure
a lot
is.
more to this than that.
It really is.
Which is great, which provides not only value from the school system to the community, but certainly provides a lot of satisfaction for us, to be out in the community and really feeling it on the day-to-day. We can go into the school cafeterias during the regular year, and see some level of this, but boy, it's sort of a different feel when you're out in the community.
They're kind of a captive audience in the school buildings, and this is folks that really want to be there and appreciate the service, and yeah, it's a great program.
How do folks tell us, for those folks who may not even know about the program right now, we've just caught their attention before we shift gears in our last segment. Just tell folks how they can get the information about the sites and the program.
Yeah, we have information on the Washington County Public Schools website. The newspaper did a public release. We distribute flyers to the kids in the schools. We try to. There's signage throughout the community.
Right.
So there's a number of ways. We want to try to do and I think I'm speaking to the right person, a reminder robocall with our school system robocalls at some point here in the next week, just for those that, again, the flyer may not have made it home. They don't know, just to give them another reminder.
There's a charge for that. I don't know
Absolutely.
Okay. So prices.
It'll equal my charge for being here today, so we're even.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Embly is my guest, assistant supervisor with Washington County Public Schools Food and Nutrition Services Office, as we talk about the summer meal program, the meal machine, and so much more. Our show today is sponsored by Blackboard, on a mission to reimagine education. Aside from the summer, we are looking. You guys have. There's no rest for the weary in food service, that's for sure. So as we look toward a new school year, even though we just wrapped up one, a couple of things coming into play, along with just improvement in efficiencies and what we deliver to kids and staff in those cafeterias. Prices are going to be a little different come the next school year. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, prices are going to go up 10 cents across the board. So at all schools we have community eligibility schools that receive free breakfast and lunch to all students, and that's at 12 of our sites. Everybody else, all breakfast is $1.45. Elementary lunch will be $2.25. Secondary lunches will be $2.50. And an adult breakfast $2.45, adult lunch $3.65. So everything across the board is going up 10 cents, which is really a minimal increase. Food prices, as I think anybody that's listening, going to the store, get your turkey now. From what everybody's telling me, with the bird flu and the prices of poultry are going to just skyrocket. So the 10 cents is very, very minimal for, I think, the things that we're continuing to put on the plate for the students.
It's still a business. You guys have a lot going on, and I don't know that folks in a lot of cases are aware of and see the business side of it, and that's for all the right reasons. We want to deliver nutritious meals, balanced meals at every location to everyone who wants to take advantage of that. But boy, the business of it, on the backside of it is big business. It's a pretty big school system and a big operation.
It is. We're about a $11 or $12 million operation. And it's a pennies business, and we have to break even. We can't rely on the county for financial support, and we need to do that with federal reimbursements and our local revenues. And it's a challenge every year, with prices increasing, everything keeps going up. We continue to have to be smart in our purchasing practices and just really, crossing our T's and dotting our I's and making sure that every penny is well spent.
And yet we're still maintaining some level of creativity. We're certainly, we're buying local as much as we can.
Absolutely.
We're, the whole business of fruits and vegetables and other things from local growers and local agricultural folks. That's been a real nice, I'll say generally a partnership, because we have so many partners along those lines. But in general terms, we've really done pretty fine locally.
We really have, and it's important for us to support our local farmers. And just an interesting little statistic: we served about 4,000 cases of local apples from Reinhardt Orchards this year. It's a lot of cases of apples.
Yeah, it really is.
And again, Jody could probably give you more statistics of some of the things that we're going to be doing this year. I know they're working with a local farm that does hydroponics that's able to supply us now year round. I've not been able to get out to the farm myself, but I know we had a field trip, and some of the folks in our offices went out, and it's just a fantastic a source for us.
I think we've done better. Well, done better. It's not as if you guys haven't been doing great anyway, but just the sheer volume of inventory that we need. I'm not sure that there aren't very many local growers who can just supply us and cover the district. So, we've been kind of smart in the way we target some of the things we gained locally.
Yes. And you're right. It's not like one or two cases is gonna cut it.
But we'll, in a sense, we'll take what anybody will give us. I mean, whoever wants to step up, hey, I can help you with this. And it sounds like the partnerships are like that, where folks will contact us and say, hey, I'm doing this season. Can you use some of this?
Yes, absolutely.
Which is great. And that gives Jody, he's got a lot of free time, so I think he needs some extra things to work on.
Absolutely.
In putting menus together. It really is a tough balance between the business side of it, the creative side of it, and delivering meals within guidelines. We'll get the detractors all the time because, that cheeseburger doesn't taste like it does when I go XYZ places, but we really have to operate within some, there's got to be, we got to fit into the nutritional guidelines.
The nutritional guidelines are very strict and very tight, and yes, it's not going to be the same cheeseburger you get at McDonald's. But look at the nutritionals, and we do a great job. We have NutriSlice. It's an app that we have all the nutritional information, calorie counts, so you can really go in and see what are you eating. And I encourage parents to do that and work with their kids to make good choices and to see the differences in the food that we can provide at school versus some of the things that the fast food companies are providing.
Along with prices, anything else that will be different as we look ahead to a new school year in a couple of months?
Yeah, a couple things to highlight. We have a new electronic free and reduced application that we've not offered before. From what I'm hearing, the paper application won't completely go away yet. Okay. It may eventually. Mm-hmm. We won't be sending those home in the mail with the summer mailer. Okay. There'll be a lot of opportunities at back to school nights. We're going to have computer labs staffed. I've not seen it yet, but I've heard it's very simple to navigate through and just a lot cleaner, and we can get kids approved a lot faster. Right. No lost applications. The parent can be reassured that the application makes it to our hands. Right. We also have a new menu concept that we're rolling out at first for our high schools. We may expand. It's concepts similar to what kids are seeing in the food courts, and a Chipotle. I'll give that example, where we'll display the food. The kids will get to make their choices and kind of customize their meal. Yeah. So we have 4 concepts. There's an Asian, Italian, a brunch, breakfast for lunch concept, which was rave reviews, and a burrito concept. Same thing, rave reviews. We tested it at a few schools here before school left out, and the kids just went gangbusters for it and are really excited about it.
Heaven forbid that high school kids are going to think the school cafeteria and the food service guys are that cool.
Yeah, it was funny. Jeff or Jody, one of the two, had a student that said, "Wow, this is really good food. I wish and we said, well, this is the same food you've always been getting, just a different way to display it
No.
and a different approach to allowing the
that's
kids
right.
to customize their meal instead of us putting everything on for them.
Right.
And it really is. And
You guys
and,
do food and marketing.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
yeah,
It's great.
and I
It's
think
service.
the addition is training to our staff.
Right.
We're working day and night putting together training programs
Mm-hmm.
and giving our staff the skills that they need to cook and prepare quality products.
Right. That's great. If folks have any questions, they can just call into the office.
Call into our office. If you want me to give our general number,
yeah, go ahead.
It's 301-766-2800.
Okay. And ask for the food service office.
Absolutely.
And, there's a full staff there, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
You might not get Mike because he's got a busy summer.
I'm on the road.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks a bunch, Mike. I appreciate
Welcome.
it.
Thanks for having
Mike
me.
Embly is Assistant Supervisor with Food and Nutrition Services with Washington County Public Schools. Today's Lunchtime Live program, heard the third Thursday each month here on WJEJ, has been sponsored by Blackboard, on a mission to reimagine education. Again, the third Thursday of the month. At this time, a partnership between Washington County Public Schools and WJEJ.